Welcome to Talks with Teads. My name is Henner Blömer. I'm the Global VP for Automotive at Teads, and we're at the New York Motor Show today. And with me is Joe Povenzano.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to chat.
Ford has a strong record of purpose-driven initiatives. How do programs reflect the company's broader commitment to community impact?
Yeah, I think it starts with the history of the company. You know, for 122 years, we've been a company that's shown up in community. It's part of our DNA. I think it's part of the Ford family and how we think about it. And so here at Ford Philanthropy, we just celebrated our 75th anniversary last year. Mm-hmm. But we've really been committed to community and showing up. How do we collaborate? How do we best support making sure that community members can really achieve the things that they need? And so it's been part of our DNA, and I think it's important for us.
Mm-hmm. And how is the Ford philanthropy evolving to meet needs of today's community? So especially social, economic, environmental challenges. How does Ford act on that then?
Yeah, I think it's important to stay true to your values. So we always start there, but I think what's unique for Ford Philanthropy is we really focus on listening first. Mm-hmm. So if we want to be impactful and we want to make a difference, we need to listen to not just our community partners, but also our nonprofit partners. Mm-hmm. So what are their priorities, what are those needs, and then finding out what is the best way that we as a company and a philanthropy can support that. So we have the ability to support with our philanthropic dollars, but we also have our volunteer core. And then we've really worked hard to try to bring the enterprise and the Ford ecosystem to bear. So I think recognize and listening first gives you the ability to adapt regardless of what the conditions are.
Do you have an example of a concrete project? So what does it look like?
Yeah, we have a number of really interesting projects. I would say our recent work in disaster relief. We've partnered with Team Rubicon, which is a humanitarian veteran-led organization. And it's been a partner of ours for a while, but 2 years ago, we launched a partnership where it wasn't just our philanthropic dollars that I mentioned, but they manage 80,000 volunteers across the company to respond to disaster situations. Mm-hmm. So we said, how do we change policies? How do we make sure that our employees can volunteer and support them? And on the flip side, we brought the enterprise along as well, and they were able to donate 17 vehicles. Mm-hmm. So if you think about that, sort of a holistic solution where we have our philanthropic support and our dollars and our funding, we have the power of our employees, and then we'll also bring the power of our product to help them authentically in their mission to respond to disasters.
Okay. And younger generations increasingly expect brands to lead with purpose, of course, right? So how will you ensure Ford's efforts connect meaningful with these audiences?
I think it starts with, I think that's right. I think all consumers want to know that the company that they're buying products from is a good company. And so for us, I think it goes back to the values. If we can make sure on the philanthropic perspective, if our dollars are going to where community most needs it, and we're listening and we're understanding, that's what's making the most impact. The other thing is what makes sense for Ford. Mm-hmm. We're a mobility company. Our mission is to move people forward and upward. And so what are the unique things that we can bring to the table to help solve those problems in community? It's fresh food access and thinking about mobility solutions. It's disaster relief and how we best support those partners. It's education for the future of work and career paths and thinking about, how do we best support building those pipelines of those future technicians and career paths.
How does philanthropy show up across Ford's marketing and corporate culture?
I think that's an interesting one. I think it goes back to what I said about bringing the enterprise along. How can Ford find the best way for us to make sure that we're bringing the enterprise into the work that we're doing in community? So it can be leveraging our dealer network and finding opportunities to collaborate there. It also is thinking about how we best leverage the expertise of the company. And then also I think through our volunteer program, us being able to be in community and people seeing Ford in community are some ways that you can really draw those connections.
So thank you very much for your time today. It's a very busy day at the New York Auto Show, and all the best with your initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.